Good afternoon. It says I'm live. It is Monday, August 4th, and you have arrived at Pat Mayer's house in my messy studio. patmayer.stampitup.net. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're coming back, as Shirley is, hi Shirley, welcome. Good to see you. Okay, Monday, what did I say? Monday, August 4th. It's August. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see. Making sure. Hello, Holly, you are here. Welcome. Welcome back. I'm going to turn that off. I think. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. I'm never sure who's read what I posted. I don't know. Let me know if what I post to give the description of the video is in both places. I don't know because I can't tell. I don't have my computer down here. So anyway, I have found another stamp set that I think you should have if you don't already. And it is, let me get my stuff here. It is the Prairie Grass. I'll hold it up here before I flip down to my desktop. It's called Prairie Grass. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, there were other things I needed more or wanted more. Let's put it that way. It's not about need. It's more about want. So, but I kept seeing some things made with this. And I love the simplicity of it because I love simple and easy. I love the sentiments for it. So let's flip down to my desktop now. It is probably more designed with the sentiments that are in it for thinking of you, sympathy. Sentiments I think are probably hard to read online. Sometimes life is just hard. Somebody going through a rough time. So very sorry. My shoulder is yours, sending the healing power of love, and you're not alone. I'm here for you. The sentiments are beautiful. The font, the way it's written is just lovely. But I'm going to be using this today to make some thank you notes. But I just like simple, easy things that look like silhouettes with not a lot of design, not a lot of things that needed to be colored. I'm also going to be using Label Me Grateful. Now, both of these are online exclusives. The Prairie Grass came out in July. I believe this one did too. I'm not sure. I got this because I like the sentiments. I did not get the dies that come with it or the other part of it that comes with it. So I don't even remember what it was. But I like the sentiments. I like the shapes of them so that they're more vertical. That's the word I want to use, especially for these two. So I'm going to be doing thank you notes today. Okay, a couple of notes before I go on. Let me look at my little cheat sheet here. If you live in Ohio, we have tax-free days for 2 full weeks. It's always in the past been a tax-free weekend, usually early in July. I think I pointed this out last week. I don't know. I don't think I saved the other thing for it. Let me see here. I don't know if I can look at this. Okay, I'm going to bring up something else. Okay, I'll show that in a minute. But anyway, in Ohio, it's pretty much anything under $500. So you could get pretty much anything. Now, I showed a chart last week and it didn't show stamp sets, but given some things that I know people have purchased out in the real world, like a friend of mine got a new iPad today, that is tax-free as long as it's under $500. I was at the grocery store the other day and the checkout clerk said he was going to buy a lawnmower because it was under $500. So again, this is an Ohio thing, and in my county, our tax is 6.75%. So that could be significant. So anyway, the other thing is, and this is what I just pulled up for a picture to show, the 25 to 27 in colors are on sale August 5th, starting tomorrow through the 31st. I think it's 20%. I don't have it showing on this this graphic. But anyway, we have our cloud cover, Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger. I finally remembered all of them. So that combined with our tax-free, it's a good time to stock up. So let's go back here. All right. So those are the two things that I want to share with you. Now let's get to business. Why am I making thank you notes? I'm making thank you notes because, not that I don't have some in my stash that I can go look for. I will be gone the next 2 weeks, and should be, if I'm back in this time zone from the jet lag, be back by the 25th. But next Sunday, after waiting almost 300 and some odd days, over a year, I think, I'm going to Alaska. And I know I'm not going to have time to pre-record some videos. So you'll just have to wait till I come back and see what I come up with. Anyway, let's move on. Let's take a look at this prairie grass again. And I'm going to make a stamp or a card with this stamp set, or this stamp. Hello. Can you tell I'm a little bit crazy here? And this one. And then I'm going to use the thank you from Label Me Grateful. So it's been kind of a crazy time. I'm pretty much packed, not all the way, but pretty much know what I'm taking. And it's just going to be so exciting. So exciting. All right, which one am I going to do first? Let's take off my noisy watch, because it always clanks on the glass mat here. Okay, I'm going to do some ink blending, and zoom in a little bit. There we go. And I have picked out 3 colors. I have Garden Green at the bottom, Darling Duckling, there's an in color, and Balmy Blue. And I have 3 blending brushes that I think have plenty of ink in them already. And that's the kind of the joy of these, because that ink stays in there unless you really wash them, and you don't have to keep adding ink all the time. So let's start off with some green at the bottom, and we'll see if there's enough in here to give the look that I want. And there is. Okay, plenty of ink left in there. And now let's go with the yellow. But I do like to start off of my paper to make sure that I don't get any kind of mark or line in there. So I'm going to blend those a little bit together. And then let's turn this way and get some blue, which will kind of represent the sky. I can leave a little bit of white there too. So that looks pretty amazing. And I think I'm going to use Garden Green for this large stamp. And it does need, let's see, this is the largest one. Can never see these. This is block F that you need this. So I'm going to turn this over. And ink this up. Now what I did find with these stamps is they very easily will pick up those edges. So you have to be very cautious. Look, I've already got that there. Not that I intended to. Very cautious when you stamp. Or I like to use an old blender pen that's kind of dried out. I don't know if this one's really dried out or not. It's got some ink on it. And just go around those edges and get rid of that ink. And then just wipe it off that way. To me, that is the best way to make sure that you're not going to get ink on. Even if you don't rock your stamp intentionally, that ink just sometimes has a way of getting on your paper when you don't want it to. And you can ask me how I know that. Okay, so I'm going to just turn that over. Now I can cut off the bottom a little bit because I have this piece of paper cut to, move up here a little bit, to 5 by 3 3/4. But I don't want to cut off the top. So let's make sure that the top is there. And even though the bottom is going to go off a little bit. Give it a good press. That looks good. There's a little bit of ink there. And I might just have to put an embellishment there. So let's go ahead and wipe that off because I know this next card is going to be with a different color. Just use this little chamois. And since that's pretty bright there, I might as well use the same color for the thank you. Okay, make sure I've got this the right way because I recently got this stamp set, the Label Me Grateful, and I've not put the labels on the stamps yet, so that is going the right direction. And there's a simple thank you. When I go on a trip like this, and this is with Princess Cruises, we're on a cruise the second week. Next week we're on the land. And I like to give thank you notes to the wait staff and the hotel staff. So I think a couple years ago when I went on a cruise, I just, heaven forbid, bought some thank you notes. Well, this year I decided I would make some. Okay. I'm going to take a, my favorite thing I like to do, Wink of Stella, and tap that on there. Let me see if I can love the look of that. So I don't know if you can see the, oops, the flecks on there or not. There, it shows it. And I just love that look. So I have a piece of old olive on this one, because I wanted a little bit of contrast with the garden green. But before I do that, I'm going to take this other stamp and stamp on the inside. And I always turn it over to look to make sure that I have it all stamped and that I don't have anything around the edges. Okay, and while I'm at it, let's go ahead and stamp the envelope as well. Now I see I did get some ink on the edge there, but I'll spatter that with something else later because I don't want to throw away the envelope. So I must have rocked it a little bit. Okay, so how's everybody's week going? It's Monday. Did you have a good weekend? We've had wonderful weather, coolish, like really cool. Open the windows, kind of cool. Turn off the air conditioner, cool. Now today I think it's 80, but then that's kind of getting ready for the Alaska chill. I keep checking the weather. We land in Fairbanks, and they're a couple of days at a Princess Lodge. And understanding the weather in Alaska can change very quickly. So I've got another piece of 5 by 3 3/4 to go with this. I'm just going to angle it a little bit so you see both of them. And it just gives it a little bit more drama. Hello, Nancy. Welcome. So there's that. And I think we need my go-to butterflies. I'm just so excited. And I probably talked about it way too much. I don't know if you remember or not. I'm going to put a butterfly over there where it got that little bit of ink. It's a perfect place for it. But there are 6 of us who are going. And we got together Saturday night. Kind of a little impromptu get together. Oops, I'm not even in the screen. And if we have as much fun on the trip as we had Saturday night, people are going to wonder what we're doing. It was so much fun. We just laugh a lot. Good friends. Okay, so there's that. So I'll just stick that in there. This is similar to one. I've got some samples to show at the end. So put that one aside. Now, I'll probably keep these out and do something else. So for this one, I have pretty much picked the same dimensions, 5 by 3 3/4 for this, on a piece of gray granite. Is that what this is? Yeah, gray granite. That is the same as the other one, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. And I have a piece of Secret Sea, also a new in color, that's going to go on here. So the design is going to be very similar to the card that I just finished, just so you know that. And then I've picked a piece of designer series paper from the Gallery Blooms. So it's got this design over here, which I don't know if I really know what that is or like it a whole lot, but I love this design here. So this is going to be, and I kind of think that's blue going into gray, blue. So it's going to be kind of the same thing, but on this one, I'm going to use this stamp, and I'm going to go ahead and clean it, even though it has that same color on, and see if I can not get any ink on here this time. Or I'll wipe it off with one of the old blender pens that I've got. Okay, I got to get back in the screen. There we go. So I'm going to be using Secret Sea. Do you have this set, Nancy? I really like it. It's so simple and elegant. That's my style. Okay, so these stamps or stamp pads are juicy. So it seems like no matter my tap, 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 I am picking up ink on the side. So let's come back here, get that green off of there, and wipe that off. And this is a red rubber stamp, so it's got a little bit more give than the photopolymer. There we go. So I'm just going to stamp this. Oh, wait a minute. That is... kind of the wrong one, but I'm going to use it anyway. These look more like cattails, which this would be an ideal one to use a marker and color these different colors up here, but I'm not going to do that. So let's see if I can... good to go. It doesn't have any ink that I have to take off. So I'm going to put this like right here. And now it needs this other one to kind of fill in a little bit. Let me breathe on it a little bit. So there I can fill that in. Okay, I'll just use my thumb to get that off of there. And there we go. Inky fingers. And kind of overlap that a little bit to get to get that kind of a look. And it looks kind of like a foggy look. Yes, Nancy, you must use that peaceful view. Okay, I'll come back and clean that one in a minute. And on this one, I have a small piece, one of these leftover pieces that's left when you cut down your paper. And for that one, I'm going to stamp thank you again. I think that's big enough. Okay, well, that was upside down, but it's okay because I could turn it over this way. That's crooked. Let's try that again. Okay, and there, I got ink on that one too. So fortunately, I have lots of these little strips of paper. Okay, so let's grab my snips, and I might have to do it again. Oh, that's good. I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that the snips are no longer in our product line because the company that made them was no longer making them. And reaching across here, inky fingers, we're going to do that again because I got my inky fingers on that and I don't want that to happen. Okay, one more. Let's wipe my fingers off. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, where did I put it? Okay, finally. Yeah, I did too. I looked through that stack of designer paper and really liked the look of that with that silhouette. Okay, I'm trying to not get ink on my card. And I'm just going to put a little bit of an angle there. All right. So this one is going to be a little bit different. Whoops. Glad I looked at that. This is the one that goes first. And I got a little angle it a little bit different. And I really had planned on popping that up on dimensionals, but my brain got away from me and I put glue on there. So Let's pop up the thank you. There we go. Let's get rid of these thank yous that have too much ink on them. Yeah, I like that. I like the gray background too. That just looks very elegant. This stamp set would be great for masculine cards. Now, let's see what I had here. I have a piece of this paper that's left over, and I'm going to put that on the inside, do a little bit of tearing, and have that come out the edge here. Put that on the inside. Somebody's tooting a horn down the street. I don't know if you can hear my street noises from down here or not. Okay, let's put a little bit of an embellishment on the envelope. See if I can do this one without. That one's pretty good. As I said, these stamp pads are still pretty juicy because they're new. New in May, whatever. Okay, so let's add some butterflies to this one too. Okay, there we go. So there's that one. Kind of clean up my mess a little bit. And here's this one. Now let me show you a couple of very similar samples here. Here's this one that I did like this. This is Granny Apple Green. And then I did this one also in the Secret Sea with thank you. So there's the difference with that. The green versus the blue. And a little bit different background. Okay, here is this one, but I didn't put any butterflies on it yet. And this one has that for the inside, where I tore this side and added that too. This one is with a piece of designer paper. This is from, forget. Nancy, can you help me out here? This one's an easy one. And then here's one where I heat embossed it with white and then added a background paper from I don't remember the name of the paper. I should have written it down. And again, very simple and just a plain white inside. So that's what we have today. I've got plenty of thank you cards to take on my trip. And if all goes well, I will see you on Thoughtful Journey. Thank you. So this is from the Thoughtful Journey designer paper. So look through your background papers, your DSPs, and thank you, Shirley. And stamp away. This is a great stamp set to make them pop. So there we go. I'm good to go, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you for being here.